Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media, looking at the 2020 Egg Bowl coming up this Saturday, 4 o'clock game on the SEC Network. Conference-only season for conferences like the Big Ten and the SEC, and others like the Pac-12 or whatever. Looking at this game, we just did the Iron Bowl preview yesterday, but I figured, be fair about it. Let's look at some other games, at least one other, and I decided why not pick the Egg Bowl. And I guess I picked the Egg Bowl because it intrigues me. 2 first-year head coaches with Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin, former Saban assistant, was the offensive coordinator for 2 or 3 years, going back to like 2014 to like 2016, I think. Mike Leach, just a really good offensive guru coach, and the quarterbacks and everything that he did at Washington State, you give him a lot of credit. Why they let him go, I don't necessarily remember. I don't know if Mississippi State offered him and he just left. But he's, I don't even know. I don't want to say these teams have done great. I don't want to say they've done terrible. They've been definitely teams we've been watching and paying attention to. Going into this matchup, both teams are unranked. It's kind of even a little bit. It's in Oxford this year. Was in Starkville, Mississippi last year. You got the quarterback matchup of KJ Costello and Matt Corral, I think. Let me know how you pronounce that. I don't know. You look at these quarterbacks on the year. Costello for Mississippi State, 134 of 207. He's got 10 interceptions. And 6 touchdowns. Only 6 touchdowns. He has thrown for over 1,000 yards, though. Matt Corral, a little bit better. Actually, a lot better. 9 interceptions, though, instead of 10. 162 for 219, 2,359 yards, and 22 touchdowns. And again, 9 interceptions. These teams are hard to figure out, aren't they? First off, a big part of Mississippi State's problem this year, we thought coming into the year Mike Leach would figure out this offense and do something amazing with it. Look at these stats here. This all coming from ESPN.com, looking at the game and everything. You got Mississippi State, 17.4 points a game. That's not even 3 touchdowns. That's sad for Mississippi State's offense. I feel bad for you guys. Wow. In a league where we're throwing the ball around and people are scoring points, teams are scoring, Bama, Auburn, Georgia, I know JT Daniels looked pretty good. So, but Georgia scoring, outside of quarterback problems here or there. But anyway, back to the Egg Bowl. Playing for the Golden Egg. 17.4 points per game for Mississippi State. 28 points allowed per game. Now look at Ole Miss. Defensively, way worse. Way worse than Mississippi State, whatever. Points allowed per game for Ole Miss, 40. They got no defense whatsoever. They got nothing. But they are scoring 41 points a game, so of course Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, offensive-minded guy, worked with Alabama and Nick Saban. Remember Jake Coker at quarterback, Blake Sims, and maybe a little bit of A.J. McCarron, if memory serves. I think maybe, was he there in 2013? I don't remember. Someone let me know. I can't remember. It's hard to keep up. Bama always having coaching turnovers. It's hard to keep up, but he's an offensive-minded coach, and he's shown that this year. Sure, Ole Miss is 3-4. They've won 3 games only, but they put points up. They just have no defense. So these teams are just embarrassing. They're embarrassing. Now, give them credit. They do have first-year head coaches that are experienced and really at least intriguing, especially Mike Leach. This game's at Vaught Hemingway in Oxford. 4 o'clock game this Saturday. Going to be 60 degrees, they're saying. This is... Shoot. I think we're going to see a shootout. I really do. First off, Mississippi State's only allowing about 28 points a game. That's still, but you got to look at the part where Ole Miss is allowing 40. So you give more of a defensive edge to Mississippi State, I would say. The spread's 9.5. Ole Miss the favorite. Over/under is 67.5. Shoot. I don't know. It intrigues me, this matchup. It's always a fun rivalry to see. And especially, again, Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin. We talked about this in the offseason with these hires. Paul Feinbaum went off on it, and he said, you imagine this Egg Bowl that we're going to see in November? And it's just, it's incredible. I think it's going to be, I think it'll be a couple scores game. Look, clearly, no defense for Ole Miss. We know that. They let South Carolina at home score 42. They gave up 21 to Vandy, whatever. Gave up 63 to Alabama. Well, that's Bama. Hello, Mac Jones. But how about this? I think this was Mississippi State's worst loss of the season. At Kentucky back in October. I missed this game, but I'm looking at it here. The score, 24-2. There was no offense. They lost 41-0 to Bama. They lost 28-14 to A&M. They lost 31-24 to Georgia. 17 points a game for Mississippi State. This game's in Oxford. I'm just going to go ahead, folks. I mean, there's not a whole lot. It's always a fun matchup to see. The past couple years have been pretty good. It's one of my favorite bowl games to watch on Thanksgiving weekend. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this. I really don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, the Bulldogs don't have a whole lot of depth on the roster. They don't have a whole lot to really keep up with Ole Miss and that offense, which, again, looks pretty, I mean, they're scoring, 41 points a game, Ole Miss. They're allowing 40 points a game. So, of course, the wins they've had have been kind of close here or there. Shoot. This is going to be high scoring, I think. Because on one hand, yes, Mississippi State does not have a whole lot of offense. But, man, if defense is what's important in football, if defense wins championships and wins you games, right, or at least makes it to where you just look great in the game, Ole Miss doesn't have it, right? They just don't. I guess I'll go ahead and give the score prediction here and then a little bit more. But I think looking at this game, I'm going to give it to Ole Miss. Shoot. I'm going to give it to Ole Miss here and say they probably hang up 40-something points here. I'm going to say Ole Miss 44 and Mississippi State 31 is what I'm going to say. 13-point game. Look, Ole Miss doesn't have much defense whatsoever. Mississippi State ain't got no offense. And see, that's where I'm getting at with this matchup is, Mississippi State's having trouble with Mike Leach and the offense. So what's your point? Ole Miss is having trouble with their defense all the way around. You look back at this. Let me reread these stats here. Points allowed per game, 40.9. Round that to 41. Ole Miss has 41 points scoring per game. Okay, so I mean, basically, Ole Miss is scoring as many points as they're giving up, is what you're seeing. Mississippi State can't score. Defense, get a little bit lucky here or there. Again, this is just one of those rivalries. I just figured, why not do a couple preview videos here or there for some of the games upcoming. And this is one that I think is always intriguing, and I think everyone's looking forward to seeing Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin, despite how tough the year has been for both of these teams. You get to the Egg Bowl, it's a big one, and it'll be interesting to see, what happens. So, anyway, that's it for this. I just wanted to make this quick preview video for the Egg Bowl. It's going to be a good matchup. I'm looking forward to this train wreck. I mean, just call it what it is. I mean, it's going to be a shootout, probably down to the wire, a couple scores. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just kind of threw a random score out there. I read some stats. I can't figure this out. You guys let me know what you guys think about this year's Egg Bowl with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, and then Mike Leach and Mississippi State. Again, two really great hires, I think, and give them some time to work on it going forward in the next couple years, and maybe it'll be a little bit more interesting. And maybe we can look at this game and say we want to keep our eye on it, which you still want to. It's a rivalry. It's a big rivalry in the state of Mississippi. So, I mean, but we're not looking at this like we would, Georgia Tech, or, I'm sorry. What I mean is like this year's game. This year's game, we're not looking at it like we are the Iron Bowl or, some of the other upcoming matchups like North Carolina plays Notre Dame. That'll be good. Oregon State. Penn State, Michigan. Kentucky, Florida. Those games. Minnesota, Wisconsin should be good. Those games compared to this Egg Bowl, which again is still a big rivalry. Come on. Get out of here with that. So anyway, comment down below your score predictions. What do you think we're going to see with the first matchup between Lane Kiffin, the Lane Train, and Mike Leach and Mississippi State, as Chess Hall likes to say. Shout out to you, brother. Anyway, comment your score predictions down below. Let me know what you think about this rivalry. What do you think the matchup's going to look like? And, yeah, so I don't know. I was trying to think of something to do for a video. I figured, why not pick another rivalry game and kind of look at that. And I'm just interested in seeing what we're going to get out of the first game between Kiffin and Leach. Two very, very well offensive-minded coaches. Should be a good one. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, give me your score predictions, what you think is going to happen. And I would love to hear from you guys. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, Ballard Sports Media checking out. Have a good day.